You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere The Experience is all the time.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Happy Monday, here we are. Ron's in the house, Preston's in the house. Yes, Preston, you do get a Rex cap. Not only that, since we missed the Rex cap all of last week, we're going to double the number of Rex caps this week.
I wouldn't say we were missing it.
Apparently, Preston does. So, you just keep your thoughts to yourself, mister.
No,
Okay.
I think from now on, we're just going to let Robbie do the show, because I checked in on his show last night. It's mellow. Everybody's having a good time.
I heard. Yeah.
No.
I heard, he took the Lars man, I think, method of doing the show. So when now John's going away, so he won't be here on Wednesday.
I won't be here on Wednesday.
Will you be back next week?
I have to see. I might not be back by Monday. I was supposed to be gone today.
Yeah, no, I know.
But then there's so much to talk about from San Diego. I
don't lie.
I had to make the sacrifice to be here for the show.
Don't lie to the viewers, dude. The AC in the place that you were going to stay at broke down. Don't lie, man.
It absolutely did. We had to shift gears, man. The woman let us know the condo in Myrtle Beach we were going to stay at, they're getting their electricity worked on, and there's a good chance there's no AC till like Tuesday. Like, nope. That's a big old nope. So we shifted gears, and tonight I'm leaving for North Carolina, actually, Wilmington.
All right, Stevie B, I was actually going to wear a hat that I bought at Gulf Shores, but I opted. I actually had to go Coach 23 U after this. We have a game at 8, so I get there a little late. So I had to wear team colors. But I'll wear it on Wednesday.
We barely have time for this anymore.
I know, dude. It still gets in my way. No, but I will wear my Gulf Shores cap on Wednesday's show because I got nothing after the show on Wednesday, so I can wear the cap then. I was in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I was in not really Robbie's neck of the woods. You said it was what? Like a long drive from where you are, right?
Yeah, you're in the tippy bottom. I'm at the tippy top. So.
All right. So that's
almost like Tennessee, right? Is Tennessee the next state over from there?
Yeah, I'm like 20-minute drive. I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So what did you say? It was like 6 hours or something for you to drive to Gulf Shores?
It's probably like 6 to 7 hours or so, maybe something like that. Sounds right.
You want to know what's super funny about living in New Jersey in the Northeast?
You can get to the tip of the state in under 3 hours.
If I leave this house in 7 hours, I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah, I know, right?
I blow through the capital. I blow through everything.
Haven't been to your neck of the woods, obviously. It was mine and my daughter's first trip to Alabama State. I got to tell you, Gulf Shores is beautiful.
Does that say Kyle's here with Breaking Snack News?
Oh, well, we'll have to wait and hear about the Breaking Snack News.
See, I think from now on,
the Choco Taco has been discontinued.
What?
The Choco Taco has been discontinued.
Man, it's a good thing I know how to make my own.
My comment on the post was, "This is worse than a Marvel movie."
Really? For real? Like discontinued how?
They're going to stop manufacturing.
They're going to stop making them.
They're going to stop making them.
Oh my God! Why?
Lack of interest.
They have to bring them back next year, more expensive.
I mean, like new Coke.
Klondike is just going to focus on the things that people would kill each other for, aka Klondike bars.
They're bars.
I mean, it's just a nutty buddy or a drumstick in the shape of a taco. Anyway.
Yeah,
right?
it's almost like Play-Doh, right? You change the shape, and it's always the same stuff.
Wow, a little disappointing.
It's like everything on the It's like everything on the menu at Taco Bell. It's just a different configuration of the same ingredients.
They've got like 4 things, like sauce, meat, tortilla, and it's just the order they push the buttons in. Flat, round, shaped, fried, not,
Well, needless to say, what I've seen of your state is excellent. It was really pretty down.
Well, station.
It was hot, but I hear it was hotter here at home than it was down there.
I'm going to bring one in for you.
We're under the heat dome, I think it's the new term. The heat dome.
Well, it was a polar vortex, right? So the opposite of the polar vortex is the heat dome, right? They're just making stuff up now. I wish they would use the words I use on Twitter, like snowpocalypse or heatastrophe, because that's exactly what it is.
I will say domestic air travel sucks.
Why is Kyle leaving?
Well, it's his night off, I guess.
Also, I
He's
don't
gonna
think
corner the market on Choco Top.
not only that, but Kyle should never be allowed to go to Comic-Con in San Diego, ever. Because if you watched his bit from not at Comic-Con, it was hysterical, man. He did. I really thought that was a great way. His breakdown of what's going on at Comic-Con when you're not there, he did a great job on that. So I think from now on, we just keep him out of Comic-Con.
That's not my call, John. But you could probably call enough people and pester them that you can make it happen. I mean, that's how you made some titles of Dynamite happen. So I guess that would work just as well.
Tonight we will speak about the things that Dynamite announced they were going to be doing versus versus what I've asked Nick for over the last 3.5 or 4 years.
All right, well, that's the rest of the show. I'm going to check out now.
Spoiler alert. You know how much stuff I got? Everything, including a couple weeks ago on this show, we talked about gorillas in comic books.
Oh, boy, here we go.
We talked about gorillas in comic books, Gorilla God, Planet of the Apes. Guess who's doing King Kong of Skull Island? Right here.
All right, so before John gets warmed up, let me deal with the best offer books first, okay?
Yeah, there's comics by them. What we're going to wind up doing...
I tell you, this is why John delayed his vacation, just so he could talk.
You want to do a recap real quick?
Sure.
We've talked about Taco. We talked about where Robbie
Tragedy,
lives.
by the way.
We talked about where Robbie lives in relation to Tennessee. And I think that's it, right? Any dope non-comics lately?
Would that be books?
You mean like novels without pictures? Just reading that. That's what Audible's for.
I read them on the plane.
I am actually like 120 pages away from being done with The Dark Tower, finally, after years of struggle through it. So I'm really excited for that. That's going to be a big burden, big weight off my shoulders when I finally finish that.
About a book that you feel is a burden to read.
The Stand.
They just keep getting so much longer. That's the only thing. This book's 1,000 pages. This last one. I'm like, what? Come on.
Oh, there's a new edition. Did you not see it?
I don't need to worry about that. I'll watch the YouTube video about it.
But the man have his little victories. All right, so we have Justice Inc. #4, signed by Alex Ross. Suggested retail of $300. It's going to be one of our best offer books, starting at $100.
Gold signature series. How many of these did he sign? Does it say?
I will have to look actually. You want to do your Vanna White thing?
Because I know for a fact he did not sign it. Like, it's not like there's hundreds and hundreds
like
of these out there.
4 of 15.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is that a good guess?
Oh wow, no, he only signed 5 of these. This is 3 of 5.
Oh wow.
Okay.
It's a gorgeous cover too.
It is. Virgin cover. And as always, Alex Ross, tough signature to get, beautiful signature anyway.
Well, not only that, but I love the fact that we've got the Shadow, we got Doc Savage on the cover, which are 2 of the best things Alex Ross draws for Dynamite.
All right. So
Plus, Holly's about to get it. You know what? I swear to God, Dwayne, when I looked at that, that's exactly what I thought. Off camera, Doc Savage is pasting Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane. That's the end of it.
All right, second book up, best offer, Department of Truth #3, signed by James Tinian IV. Suggested retail $49.99. It is a best offer book starting at $20.
It's one of my favorite comics on shelves right now. Department of Truth. Love this book.
Did I just hear this is going to be on Showtime or something? Somebody just optioned this.
I never heard that.
I haven't heard anything recently, but I think
Apple TV.
somebody may have snatched it up at some point, like they do, you know. But this would be a cool, if they did it right, it could be cool, like a little bit more of a hardcore X-Files, a little bit more deeper and darker. But I have a lot of fun with this book, and the artwork by Martin Simmons blows me away.
I have to double check because based on the strength of Severance, Apple TV is bought like 5 things from comics. They're under the impression now that like comics are like the wave of the future. I mean, I've been waiting for this wave my whole life, but Apple TV has a weird eclectic mix of stuff. They don't really have anything with superpowers.
Interesting. So it looks like they're trying to get into
I thought it was Department of Truth. Don't quote me on that. I might have to double check. But they just signed one of these types of things from like Image or whatever. And I thought, well, you know what? That's probably a great way to get into it. If I remember correctly, it's like a government organization. They're investigating people with superpowers.
And Dwayne, I got you for opening up at 20, buddy. Just so you know.
This one is about a government organization called the Department of Truth, which understands that consensus reality changes reality. Like consensus belief changes reality. So you can literally make people think, more people that think the world is flat, the more likely it is to become flat. So they try to keep this kind of under wraps and contained so that things don't go too crazy. Something like that.
So kind of a 1984 sort of thing.
It's a really, really, really cool book that dives into conspiracy theories. So basically they're trying to halt belief in conspiracy theories because like belief in conspiracy theories, the more people that believe them, the reality will actually change. So like they're talking about aliens, they're talking about Bigfoot, they're talking about the JFK assassination. Every conspiracy you can think of gets tackled here, and it's pretty fun.
All right, so last best offer book of the night, Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse #1, CGC graded 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book starting at $35. All right.
Ron, it's alternate facts, man. I really like this cover, though.
So Stevie B, interesting question. This is one for Robbie, probably.
I think it's not doing, say, Something is Killing the Children numbers, but it's performing very strong at my shop, and I'm pretty sure overall, but it performs very strong. Just a little bit under Something is Killing the Children, as far as I'm aware.
I think that says a lot for kind of like a book without, this book doesn't have a character that you're going to put on lunch boxes and, you know what I mean? This doesn't have like a franchise character. This is like a really well-written and constructed story.
Yeah, and it's on the, it got its hype on the strength of Tynan's name and reputation that he's been building, so he's a hot writer right now. He's one of the top dogs.
Well, apparently at Comic-Con they were talking about a book I read, which did not get a ton of sales, but people talked about it, but they didn't buy it. It was Count Crowley, which is co-created by David, I always say his name wrong, Michalian.
Yeah, the polka dot man, right?
Polka Dot Man from Peacemaker. He was also one of the hacker tech guys, friend of Ant-Man's.
Right.
He was in the Dark Knight. He was one of Joker's dudes or whatever. Yeah.
He sort of co-created this book, and I guess being out there, they were already talking about people are kind of hinting around of this could be like a next Hellboy thing, and I'm like, they sort of fit into that universe, but my problem is they had trouble relaunching Hellboy.
That's true.
They had trouble relaunching Hellboy.
I just saw that recently. I thought it was okay.
Man, I'm a huge Hellboy fan, and I'm a huge Hellboy fan. I hated that movie.
Yeah, I'm a hard no on that.
Really, I didn't. I definitely didn't feel it was as good as the previous ones. But I mean, I don't feel like I wasted my time. From that perspective. So
no, I feel like I wasted my time. I was upset.
You watch Morbius? Stop it.
I watched Morbius
more than once.
I've seen Morbius 3 times, and I'm telling you, that Hellboy remake, I regret.
Here's what's really sad. So I'm on a plane. I'm flying down to Alabama, and Morbius is a choice.
Hey, Kenneth Bird, yeah.
And I didn't choose it. I chose to watch Dune again. Rather than watch Morbius. I don't know why. I thought, This is a perfect time to watch it. I got nowhere to go. I'm trapped in a plane. I might as well watch it, and I still didn't watch it.
I'll tell you what made Dune worse for me than it had been previously.
What?
I saw it on HBO, and I'm like, this isn't too bad. But then I forgot how good the novel is because I listened to it on Audible.
Real quick.
Oh, sorry.
This is like Clark's. John's here, and he's not even supposed to be here today. So
he wants to talk about all Dynamite stuff.
Did you hear me? I was like, tonight we're going to discuss everything I've asked Nick for in 3 years and what his success percentage is. Everything.
We tried to convince the viewers that he came here specifically for that, and then I outed him.
Yeah,
the AC at his vacation condo.
There's no way I'm going to sit in that heat. Nick understands. I was like, there's no way, man. I'm going to drive 9 hours.
It's worse than that. When we thought the AC was broken in here, you were almost ready to stop doing
I can't do the show. I'm sorry. It's too hot in here. And then finally Mariana was like, oh, you have to turn it on. I'm like, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. All right, let's throw the Dynamite 10-pack out there. 10 random Dynamite titles. Comes the price of $3.99 or higher, so a $40 suggested retail or higher. As a thank you to our viewers, as always, we have it for $5, 50 cents a book.
And if you're looking at this image here, one of the things I asked Nick for, I'm going to be doing this all night, so you might want to get something stronger than water. If you look at this image up there.
That beer you brought me, by the way, was excellent.
Was it? I'm glad you liked it. Was Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt, you see proudly displayed in that image. You know what we're getting more of this year? Maybe next year, depending on schedule. Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt. You know who asked the publisher for that? I did, so you're welcome.
Well, who asked Nick for Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles? Because I just got to thank you for that. Holy cow.
As soon as I heard that they were going to stop doing the other thing, I was like, can we have Disney stuff? And Nick was like, get out of my office. What's the matter with you?
I go away for a week, and now John's drunk with power. It's not even name dropping anymore. He's claiming influence over publishing the.
Have you not seen Indiegogo? Everyone, I want you right now to go to Indiegogo and back the Green Hornet. Back the Green Hornet Indiegogo.
All right, Jay, you should have a picture of this, but the giveaway tonight. Oh gosh,
is that you?
That is me. The giveaway tonight is Vampy #1, year 1. All right, and that will be the giveaway. And what was the hashtag, Jay? I think there was a hashtag we were supposed to use.
Station EXP.
There it is.
There it is.
Thank you very much, Jay.
This is Jay Lee cover.
So just to get everybody.
Gorgeous Jay Lee cover.
Here, you can pick them up. But don't take it. That's a surprise.
What?
You what?
I got one of these last week while you were gone. Thanks.
Shocker.
That's a Jay Lee cover.
Probably a long box worth of stuff leaving the building last week.
Have you checked your desk? I have bad news.
You can't find nothing on my desk, bro. All right, so throw up in the chat boards hashtag Station EXP. So right there, Preston's got it right. So I try to do everything lowercase, but in this case, we have capital S and then capital EXP.
No, that looks great, I think, that way, right?
Well, I know, but sometimes, the contest won't work if you don't have it in upper lowercase exactly correct. Throw that up there, and we will do the drawing probably immediately after the best offer books close.
If Green Hornet meets Darkwing Duck gets made, in the back, one of the background panels, there's going to have to be a department store that says Dwayne's and Haynes. That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
That is a great idea.
Lord.
You know what?
I'm ready for Vampirella meets Gargoyles. That's what I'm ready for.
You know what? I've spoken to a cosplayer who's very good with Disney stuff.
I was wondering, you guys going to do cosplay covers for Darkwing Duck? I'm curious.
I don't know. I hope so.
If John has anything to do with it.
You know what? In all fairness, though, I think Disney is probably – I don't know how Disney is with cosplay covers. That's the kind of thing that – I mean, the announcement was just been made. I don't know how it is. However,
but you could get an actual duck and put like a purple hat on them and a little –
what I was thinking. I'm going to go to the duck farm down in Mount Laurel, hat the thing, and see if I can get him to do the –
Somebody take video of John trying to put a hat on a duck, and we will broadcast that on the next available show.
6 million views. Idiot loses eye.
We will go viral. That's why you have the glasses.
I will say this, though. If you want to see something really cool that's Gargoyles related, go look Gracie the cosplayer. Go find her Instagram feed. Go find her Twitter feed. She did the most full-blown Gargoyle cosplay that I have seen. Body paint, prosthetics, digital effects. This thing is just, she's working with some photography studio that also does CGI type stuff. And I was just wowed. Sounds cool. two of the cosplayers that we have at Dynamite, they absolutely romped. Yes, Preston. It's funny that you mentioned this. I talk to Rachel Holland almost every day, and the first thing I sent to her.
Why, Preston? Why give him an avenue to name
I sent
drop,
her
Preston?
a dark.
Why do this to her?
I sent her a Darkwing Duck gift and said, "Hey, can you get big web feet boots?" Rachel and Gracie were bum rushed at San Diego with people asking them to sign Vampirella and Jennifer Blood. So anybody that's watching this that was at the con, and just in general, if anybody watches this, they wanted to say thank you. I told them I would pass that on. Rachel in one day signed over 100 copies of stuff that she'd done for Dynamite. So, clearly people dig the cosplay covers.
All right. So, shout out to Figure Drawing, Ken Bird. Let's see. Dwayne's a pain as always. Jay Burns is in the house. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Where Rupenstein? What's going on, buddy? And Stevie B as always. And Jeff Wedding just joined us as well.
Lucky. I'm surprised Robbie.
No. I have no problem with the convo on Rachel. I just don't want to give John an opportunity, an open door to name drop. That's the only thing I'm trying to avoid.
Stevie B, right before we went on the air, do you know what I talked to Nick about? Because he's about the same generation I am. Johnny Sacco and his flying robot.
Ooh. I love that show with the watch and everything.
With the watch. I said Dynamite could have watches, like replica watches and stuff like that.
Cool,
in all fairness, I have no idea who has the rights to that. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows who has the rights to stuff like that.
So let's see. Stevie B says Dynamite is giving the younger generation their Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles. Where's the stuff from when I was a kid? Tobor, the Eighth Man, Kimba, the White Lion, and
I think that's supposed to be Gigantor, which I have on DVD
well.
and digital. But come on, man, bigger than big. That should be the hashtag. That's how the beginning of the show starts. And that's another little kid. You know what? Something you learned in the 60s. If the mom died, the dad, if he was like a scientist, lost his mind. Because think about it. Imagine Johnny Quest's mom passes away. Mm. How does his father take care of him? Well, son, I'm going to give you this jetpack and ray gun, and we're going to go bomb into this island with supervillains and giant dragons. Who does that with a kid?
I'm sure
Johnny Sacco is another one. I'm sorry your mom died. I'm going to give you a watch. Not so you remember time with your mom, so you can control this giant-ass robot that I built. And it's like a monster of destruction. It's the same story as Gigantor. The mom dies. Jimmy Sparks' father says, here, take this. What happens with this control panel, Dad?
Just push some buttons.
Just push some buttons and you'll find out. And there's Gigantor like tearing the head off of Hydra.
All right, so let's.
I wish I was a kid in the 60s with that mom.
Let's do a Dynamite book before we got to go to our first break. So let's do Red Sonja number 11, Lee Ricks Lee Ultraviolet Virgin covers, just retail $50. We have one available tonight for $40.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I love these UV covers.
The UV covers are great, and this whole new element of Red Sonja, where it's like Red Sith, she's sort of. They've done everything with Red Sonja. Seeing her as a caretaker, a mom, a stepmom of sorts, or foster mom.
Right.
That's awesome. And of course, the only bad thing is, if you read Red Sitha, you know how this turned out. She's trying to raise the kid to kind of be self-sufficient but not violent. And if you read Red Sitha, you know exactly how this turned out.
Not well.
All right. I love that book. That's a great book. But as far as her like going to school and getting an education,
yeah, that's what I meant. Not well.
Venture Brothers is another one. I love the Venture Brothers, and I love the fact that they embrace, boys, I don't really love you that much, so I'm just going to turn you loose in the lab and hope you don't kill yourself. But if you do, I'll just clone you. It'll be fine.
All right. So, let me see. Is it time for a Rex cap?
Absolutely. You should keep doing one.
Yes, I think it is.
Starting with the Choco Taco.
Okay, starting with the Choco Taco. Very disappointing news about that. No. All right, so we did the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. It's just a retail of $40, and we have $5 as always. Then we have Justice Inc. number 4, signed by Alex Ross in gold, I believe. Number 3 of only 5 signed. It's just a retail of $300. Best offer book starting at $100. Then we did Department of Truth, number 3, signed by James Tinian IV. Suggested retail of $49.99. It is a best offer book. In Dwayne's Pain is in the lead at $20.
And this is absolutely one of these books where maybe I might be a little bit off. I think someone might have optioned this. I can see someone optioning this in the future if they haven't already. And we've talked about this a bunch of times, right? Don't wait until Hulu or Netflix or somebody announces this, right? Because then the back issue prices skyrocket. Every retailer I talk to sells the same story.
Right.
The stuff's in the dollar bin. The stuff is in the back issue. Nobody buys it. Along comes Netflix with, hey, we're going to do a series next year. Everything disappears at 10 times the price it was before. So this is one of these deals where I'd be like, you know what, if you want to check out DOT, this is probably like a cool way to get a DOT collectible reasonably priced.
All right, so the next up was Red Sonja number 11, Lyrics Lee, Ultraviolet Virgin covers, just retail at $50. We have one available at $40. All right, and then we had Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse number 1, CGC graded 9.8 guaranteed. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book starting at $35. And Jay is right. Make sure you throw up hashtag. What was it again, Jay?
Station EXP.
Station EXP. And remember, the caps and are very important for him to run the randomizer at the end. All right, so time for our first break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite news show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support, and then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube. Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
On Monday when you were on vacation. I love that.
All right, so hello to 62 Lefty. John Spilios, what's going on, buddy? All right,
so let's talk about how cool Robbie's show is on Monday. On Sunday, I have a feeling I'm missing out here. They're talking about way cooler stuff.
Well, I appreciate you popping in, buddy. I'm very, very proud of my Sunday night show, Rockin' Robbie Live. We always do I get like usually I'll do a movie review. I'll do like a top 5 movies of this year, or I'll do. And I did an image in the 90s, so I talked about Youngblood #1. We talk about comic books. We talk about all kinds of stuff, and I interact with the chats. It's always super, super fun, so I appreciate you popping in.
Yeah, that's why. Thank you for who's JD's in there. Thank you for throwing up the link. Jay's here. Yeah. Thank you for throwing up the link because, like I said, I was just messing around, and my phone lets me know, hey, Robbie's going on the air. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. All right, click, and it's a ton of fun, man. I mean, we're fortunate that Robbie's able to join us. We're fortunate that Alex is able to join us. So really try to like check out their shows because there's like a lot more, we're sort of saddled with having to sell comics. Right. This is kind of like, if you really want to get more like, Easter eggs, that sort of thing, there's a lot more extended conversation with this stuff.
Oh my God, I go away for one weekend and the place runs amok.
No,
so,
it's true, though.
Stevie B, the way to introduce a spam casserole is do not tell your family that it is a spam casserole. See? Just serve it up as a casserole and they'll figure it out.
One of the best casseroles I ever made was Spam jalapeno mac and cheese.
There you go, Stevie B. All right, so
sounds delicious.
Breadcrumbs on top were the little King's Hawaiian rolls. So there's a little sweetness from the breadcrumbs, and then the jalapenos are spicy.
All right, so we're going to talk about the announcement that Dynamite made during San Diego.
They made like 19 of them.
That's why we're starting early. But I do want to say that shout out to Robbie. You had an excellent time. Again, I only saw the Gulf Shores, but Alabama was great. Would definitely go back. A totally different vibe from the Jersey Shore, though. It was nice. It was just different. But weather was okay. It was hot, but it was hot everywhere.
I was just saying it's hot here. It was one day it was 102 degrees, and it was only like 90 in Miami. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm getting ready to text Nick. We have to talk about relocation because I don't know if I.
So we'll definitely go back. Yeah, it was a great time. So with that being said, John, Robbie, take it away.
Well, I mean, we'll go down it real quick because I know people want to get to the books and Ron is waiting to always build his collection of CCAs or whatever. But just the highlights I'll cover really quick. King Kong was the big one for me. I think most people are.
Ironically, we were talking about gorillas.
We were talking about gorillas in a previous show. We had Darkwing Duck, is huge. Gargoyles. We've got a martial arts thing, and I don't remember the name now, but if you read Intertwined, it is a great martial arts story, and we're going to sort of be doing like a martial arts line. And I'm super excited about that.
I was also really excited to hear about the origin specials for Garbage Pail Kids. That's exciting.
Origins.
And then the book Cherish, which is based on a Mark Silvestri designed character, right? That is edited by my good friend Joe Corallo. So I'm really, really pumped for that.
There's a lot of stuff. So we're going to need a 3-hour show, and 3 people are going to need to be at the booth. It's going to have to be like Monday Night Football.
You got 3 people now.
This is one of these things where every day Tarzan.
Oh.
And they're like, accidentally I forgot that. Yeah, we have Tarzan. Dynamite did Tarzan in the past, and maybe this is me being biased, but some of the best stuff I read, modern take on Tarzan, comes from Dynamite. And I'll tell you right now, if you want to read something really, really, really cool, go find the old Dynamite story of Tarzan and John Carter. Ooh. 2 Edgar Rice Burroughs characters hooking up in something called Lords of War. Very, very cool book.
So Dwayne Zapane said, I was in Miami.
John, I agree with you. I'm sorry. That's a great point John brings up. Robbie's channel on YouTube, if you are into pop culture, if you are into comics or any of that sort of stuff, last night they were talking about Scream Queens. Was that Linnea Quigley on the cover number 2?
No. That's Monique Gabriel, I believe.
Okay.
But Linnea's on issue number 1, and so I need that one. So
Robbie, what is the movie tonight that you're going to review?
Tonight is a classic from 1986 starring Eddie Murphy, The Golden Child. Is what we're talking about tonight.
One of my favorites.
I haven't seen it since I was like single digits. Like it was like back in the 80s when I first saw this, right?
The time they were running it on like HBO or one of the cable channels.
Yeah, they'd play it all the time, right? Yeah, I remember it being much more different than it turned out to be. But
Really?
yeah, it's going to be a fun conversation.
Well,
Yeah, Jay's putting all the stuff out there. The martial arts books, there are two things that I said to Nick. Of course, I'm never shy about my opinion. There's two things I said I would love to see Dynamite do in this vein. One was a martial arts book, and the other one is I'd like to see Dynamite someday do a horror book. I'm not talking about Army of Darkness or Evil Ernie. Most of Dynamite's horror books have like a little bit of tongue-in-cheek humor, edge. People might say Vampirella is a horror book. Okay, maybe superhero horror. I would love to see like eerie or creepy come back. I think those rights right now are with Dark Horse, maybe. Like when Warren split up, I guess people got different rights to different things.
Right.
I would love to see even if it was just 4 or 6 issues, I would love to see some kind of homage to those old horror magazines. I mean, the boxes of eerie and creepy and some of the other things I have in there, my wife found them, and every cover grossed her out more than the next. And I'm like, you got to understand, man, in the 70s,
litmus test.
In the 70s, this was the business. I'm telling you right now, like, yeah, sure, some kids sat and just read, like, Spider-Man or whatever. You wanted to wow and pop the audience in the school bus, you busted out creepy.
So now we know a little bit about John's childhood. All right, next book up, Dark Knights Metal, number 5. Planet Comic-Con variant signed by Scott Schneider and Greg Capullo. It's just a retail of $99.99. It is one of our 5-star at $50 books.
Speaking of Capullo, I think it was Robbie who mentioned this. Isn't there going to be a McFarlane, Capullo, Batman, Spawn?
Yep. They're doing Batman Spawn in December. They announced that at San Diego. That was one of my favorite comic book announcements, period, was McFarlane's writing, Capullo's drawing it, Batman Spawn. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm super pumped. Greg Capullo is awesome. He was my favorite. He's awesome on Spawn, and then he got even better when he was doing Batman, and I think he continues to get better. He's got this like old school 90s kind of vibe, but he still has been able to evolve and shift and change and adapt, and he's evolved as a storyteller tremendously, and I'm really pumped for this. I think it could be really fun.
I think he took the good stuff from the 90s. There was some stuff in the 90s that, well, every decade of comics has stuff that, maybe we leave in the recycle bin. He took all the good stuff, in my opinion, from the 90s, and he kind of does the last 6, 7, 8 years worth of books that he's done. I think that's all the good stuff.
All right. So any announcements at San Diego that you guys were in?
Well, I think there's always announcements that are, we'll say, underwhelming. You know what I mean? And this is going to be weird coming from me because people who watch this show know that I love the movies, particularly Marvel Studios. I don't know if all of that announcement hit the way they wanted it to. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it hit for a lot of people because today at the shop, that was everybody wanted to talk about that. They were like, "Oh, Secret Wars, this." We had just come off of a 2-week period where it was starting to turn on Marvel, like post Love and Thunder. And we were talking about it here on the show, right? Like we were talking about it all over. I saw it all over YouTube, all over social media. People were like, there's no direction. And it could not be more perfectly timed for them to have the drop that they did. And we forget sometimes that it's been since 2019 since they've done one of these big announcements for a wave, right? And we're finally caught up enough to need another one. Here's one thing, though. I wouldn't say it's disappointing to me, but I'm conflicted about the trailer for Wakanda Forever because the idea and in the synopsis is that T'Challa has died. And so this is them picking up after. And I still think that they should have done something to hold that character back because I think the character of T'Challa as Black Panther is too important to let die, unfortunately. So it's got to be a weird thing for them to kind of do. And the trailer caught me in the feels, but I also felt like I was being emotionally manipulated by it. And I was like, is this exploitative of like Boseman's death? But like at the same time, I want like a tribute. So I'm kind of conflicted on the whole Wakanda Forever thing. That being said, loved the way Namor looked in that trailer. I thought that was
There we go.
awesome.
Yeah, no, I thought.
Yeah, I think you're sort of. It's a fine line. I think what he's talking about is a fine line between homage and cashing in. Like, you know, Chadwick Boseman as an actor in person can't say enough about. I don't know if you necessarily. You know what? I mean, I guess I'll have to see the movie. I'll have to see the movie to see if it's handled respectfully.
Right.
Because I have to look at it this way, and they're like, okay, you're separating T'Challa from the Black Panther. I don't think that's a good idea, but okay. That's the direction they decided to go in, right? So now we have Shuri, and I just don't know if that actress who plays Shuri is going to sell $400 million worth of tickets as the Black Panther. I just don't know if I see that. Or you do what you're right. The easy thing would have been to recast T'Challa, but I think that would have had their problems too.
Yeah, I agree.
I think people are going to have a hard time seeing, at least in our generation, anyone other than Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that would have
I
been.
think that had a problem.
Well, do
For
you
me-
think, for instance, that DC should have never, ever had the Joker again because of Heath Ledger? And I know that they changed the plans for the Nolan movies because they wanted to use the Joker for the third one, and then they didn't want to recast after Heath Ledger passed.
I think
But
there's
like
one-
the Joker is a character like that's marketable.
Yeah, there's one key
right?
difference. Okay, because the key difference is Heath Ledger was not the first Joker. Okay, so you know if somehow, and he was a villain. Okay, so I kind of think that's the difference. Okay,
So if Christopher Reeve died making like in the middle of those Superman movies, they should have never have done another Superman film. You think?
Yeah, I'll say yes to that.
I'll
say yes right
I
now.
wouldn't say yes to that necessarily because I think that the timing was different because that was an age where there were very few superhero movies and Superman had redefined it in a way. All of a sudden they weren't these crappy things that only comic fans would watch. You know, the inevitable FFs and all those other horrible movies that we would go and watch. We complain about it afterwards, but we go and watch. Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman, I think was redefined. It showed that, you know what, a superhero movie can be a box office draw. It can draw to a general audience and still make money.
You'll believe a man can fly.
Exactly.
That used to be on a movie poster.
I think that was a different age. You know, by the time Black Panther came out, MCU was already, you know, starting to mature in its, you know, if you want to say it that way, start to mature within the movie going audience. And so Black Panther was not a new introduction into the MCU, but was a continuation. But then obviously Chadwick Boseman was the first Black Panther, and the movie itself was very well received. So I think you're kind of comparing apples to oranges, you know, in very real.
I was going to say, no disrespect to Heath Ledger whatsoever, or even the character of the Joker.
We all know what that means when John starts off with that.
Black Panther has a sort of social and cultural relevance.
I agree with that.
That, you know, the Joker is just another guy in the Batman Rose Gallery. He might be the top guy, but he's more a comic strip character. Black Panther has a relevance and a resonance.
That's why I don't think that. That's why I think that you should have left it open to be recast at some point. Like, I get not having it T'Challa in the movie because, and the way that they were working on 2 when Boseman tragically, you know, passed away, right? So, like, that's a weird spot to be in, and I don't envy anybody. And I do believe that Ryan Coogler and everybody there, they are trying to do an earnest attempt at, like, a tribute and moving on and carrying on the legacy. And I'm cool with that, but the relevance of T'Challa as Black Panther, like, I don't think you should have like given that up for the future of the MCU. Because you're right, like Shuri may not carry it.
Really have though, in a sense that I think John brings up a relevant point is that in our generation, it's very difficult to move forward from here. But later on, you know, let's face it, this is comic book, guys. You can reintroduce the character.
Nobody dies forever.
Yeah, you know, Superman proved that. So you can reintroduce that character, but right now I don't think is the right time. You know, and here's the other thing. I think the conditions that Heath Ledger passed and Chadwick Boseman passed were different as well.
Yeah, there's a big sort of.
I mean, I loved the Heath Ledger Joker. Would it have been so critically acclaimed if he didn't die? I don't know. And
I've heard that argument before, that his performance.
And at the risk of using John's term, no disrespect intended.
That means you're sticking the knife in.
There's, Chadwick Boseman died very tragically in terms of cancer and everything else. And there wasn't the same kind of controversies that involved him. And he was at the doorstep of opening up not only this new, what was then a new MCU character, but the movie itself was kind of changing. I don't know, had an effect of making a real change. So I think, honestly, in my opinion only, but I think this was the right move. If you try to recast it too soon, you're going to get blowback, right? I don't think they really closed the door on the character. Once again, the advantage of introducing the multiverse.
I was going to say, the multiverse allows them to do everything.
Yeah, anything you want.
I think in the short term, and I'm talking about in terms of box office, the short term, if they're looking for box office bang, they have a Killmonger from another universe where he's not quite so evil, make his way to Wakanda, and he becomes the Black Panther until they decide what they want to do. They're talking about maybe there's not another movie, maybe he's going to be in other movies. There's a tons of things that are swirling around out there. I think in the short term, a alternate reality, a multiverse Killmonger works best because Michael B. Jordan is money.
Right.
That guy is box office. Maybe not at the Chadwick Boseman level, but maybe he is. You got to compare the two side by side. I think Chadwick Boseman as a box office act doesn't have the hugest, career, obviously, because he died tragically young. But also, when you're in a Marvel movie, you get a huge bump.
Yeah.
You look at someone who did 4 movies versus someone who did 1 Marvel movie. The guy in the Marvel movies got the box office, stroke there. I think that Michael B. Jordan has been in some really good movies. Yeah, he was terrible as Human Torch. Everything about that movie was terrible. I don't blame him. Everything about that movie was a disaster. I still hope they find the guy who made that movie and throw him in prison. It's terrible. Terrible. I don't forgive. Terrible. But Michael B. Jordan is in a bunch of movies. He's doing like the Rocky Balboa thing where he's Apollo Creed's son, whatever. There's a lot with that guy going on. I think you get him to do like a socially relevant Killmonger, not like a murder Killmonger. And I think that works, at least for the short term.
Right.
I don't know if, I can't remember her name right now, and I don't mean this as a slight to her. I don't know if the actress who plays his sister, I don't know if she's going to sell $300 million in tickets. I really don't.
So Center 24 has a contrary viewpoint. To me, as a Marvel fan, I can't replace Iron Man, Cap, or Thor. The only one that was replaceable was Black Panther. Just because he died doesn't mean they owe him. I don't think Marvel's looking like they owe him. I think that they're trying to read the room, so to speak. And
I think you've had an actor, again, there's a lot of social and cultural relevance attached to him and to his performance, right? I think the nature and the way he died, the kind of person he was, I think there's like a thing where we're trying to do what's right for business and we're trying to do the right thing here. Ryan Coogler said that. We're doing the best we can to make this a tribute to Chadwick Boseman with the understanding that this is a movie.
Right.
Like when people try to publish, relevant comics, they still have to sell, right? So I think they have to do like a Black Panther, but it has to be something people are going to watch. I know people are saying recast the role. I'm not with the recast.
Well, Dwayne Payne says they could have said we need a Black Panther for the movie. I assume is what you meant. And went into the multiverse and pull Killmonger out of it.
Yeah, that's sort of
lineage. There's no reason they won't do that.
No, I actually think moving forward, that's actually the most likely solution.
But they got to find a way to transition into that.
And what we've also they could just pull another T'Challa because we have established that variants don't necessarily have to look identical to you from another universe.
Well, they determined that in Loki, obviously.
Yeah, they could totally recast. I think right now in the short term they're doing the best they could do.
I think so as well.
I mean, we're still coming out of the pandemic. Some of that movie was made during the pandemic conditions. There's a lot of there. I think you have to wait like 5 years from now if we have this conversation. It'd be a very different conversation.
All right, let's throw a book out real quick, and then we can continue with this. Betty Page and the Curse of the Banshee, #1 Atlas edition, signed by Joseph Michael Linsner. It's just at retail of $49.99, and we have one available for $19.23 for the year that Betty was born.
This was, I think, a Stephen Mooney book.
I believe you are correct.
I think. I mentioned Stephen Mooney because we talked about books last week that came out. Robbie mentioned it on his show. My favorite book last week that came out was Stephen Mooney's The Rocketeer.
Right.
Mooney very much sort of has that vibe.
All right, Dwayne's of Pain is taken it.
Yeah, he's done Half Past Danger. He's done it. He sort of has the vibe for that time period or whatever. I'm
just some rando. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Figure Drawing. If I haven't made a shout out to you, thanks for joining us as always. Let's see. So just some rando says, go into the multiverse and grab a version of the kid at the end of the first movie who becomes Black Panther after being inspired because of T'Challa. And Shuri landed a ship on their basketball court. I know, right? I remember.
Oh, yeah, that's a neat idea. Whose ship is that? It's mine.
Yeah. So there are many ways they can do it, and it's not to say they won't.
Once they get past, we'll call it the mourning period or the grieving period, there's a lot of there. They can recast the role as T'Challa any number of ways. They can have a Miles Morales version of the Black Panther, right, where someone's been inspired. They somehow get the thing. The way Wakanda is, I mean, it's a living, breathing nation, right? Leaders die all the time.
Right.
Someone else can claim the mantle.
Right.
You know, there's a lot going on there. But I think in the short term, you know, you have the actor, he gets sick, he does as much as he can. You know, he passes, unfortunately, with dignity. My understanding was that guy did a lot of work knowing he was sick to try to move the Black Panther thing forward.
Yeah.
Right? There are versions of the Black Panther that would be very cool from the multiverse to bring to a Black Panther movie. First and foremost is the Star-Lord version.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
from the What Ifs, yeah.
Yeah, from the What If animated series, absolutely.
Figure Drawing says that Robbie, interesting, the casting in that scenario would be key. I would agree with that. And, you know, I think they're going to reintroduce the character. It's just a matter of how and when.
They needed to get over this hump in this movie. They needed to sort of, it was like the elephant in the room, like, you know, we're telling our stories, we're doing our thing. You know, Black Panther is massively successful. I just ordered a Black Panther watch from Invicta. There's like a ton of stuff going on here, right? So they can't just not do the movie.
Right.
They're not going to scrap the movie because too much, you know, no company is going to walk away from, I think somebody said by the time he'd passed away, they were $90 million into the movie. No company, even Disney or Marvel, is throwing away $90 million. Nope. The way forward is the way through.
All right. So Stevie B says Linsner's signature on the Betty book looks like it would have fit very well on Declaration of Independence. I agree. That is a beautiful signature on that book. I don't know why it jumps out on this one particularly. I don't know what kind of pen he used. Sinner 24. But why does him dying means Marvel fans have got to suffer not getting BP? That movie was so hyped that when I finally saw it, I didn't understand the hype. It was average.
I'm sorry, I can't. I don't agree with that at all. I think Black Panther was one of the better movies they did. I think his performance was really good. I think this is the way they have to move forward. I mean, I understand what he's saying. I'm not there.
I really like the Black Panther movie. I like Black Panther a lot, and I like the character a lot, and I like the Christopher Priest run. It was when I was really, really getting into that character. Yeah. And so I think that Marvel is. I mean, I think that the filmmakers are doing the best that they can in this situation. I think they're going to do it like with earnestly, you know. But I just, as a fan, man, we're going to miss out on so much, man. It's unfortunate. So. It's unfortunate because seeing Chadwick Boseman go up against Namor, like that Namor, Black Panther, like that T'Challa, that whole like dynamic is something we're really going to miss out on. And he would have been the biggest figurehead for the MCU going forward. Would be Black Panther with Cap and Iron Man stepping down.
I don't think they've closed the door on any of that. That's the thing. I think that part of it is going to result in how the next movie, the box office is.
I think if you look at Marvel, the comics, you've got two characters that can legitimately vie for the top spot. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, they've said is their most powerful character. I don't know if you know, but they've said it's their most powerful character, right? And then the other character is Black Panther. This is the guy who, the way Captain America leads the first generation of heroes, Black Panther should be leading the second generation of heroes. And it's my understanding that was sort of the direction they were going in with the MCU. You know, Cap is done, right? And now I think Black Panther was supposed to be the leader forward.
Right.
It's too hard right now to separate Chadwick Boseman from T'Challa. It's too hard to do that.
So Jay, throw that up one more time, the hashtag. So for and when you get a chance, if you could throw up the giveaway comic as well. All right. So for everybody that's joined us a little late, the giveaway tonight is Vampirella #1, Year 1. All you got to do is throw in the chats hashtag StationEXP. Be very careful with the caps and the lowercase. They have to match exactly in order for Jay to run it through the randomizer. All right, but be sure to throw that up in the chats, and we will do it immediately after. We'll do the drawing immediately after the best offer.
The best offer. We got the break. Yeah. We got more stuff. We got a ton of stuff. I guess we're going to our next break.
What time is it? In about a minute. So, and then we will pick up on this conversation as well, because it seems like we're getting a lot of feedback from the viewers. So who brought it up? Was it Robbie? Good topic. Or was it John? I don't know. It wasn't me. That's all.
What, the Black Panther thing?
Yeah.
I think we were both discussing it. I mean,
was
I know
the
Robbie
universe.
was talking about it yesterday.
The universe brought it up.
So,
what? It was nobody.
But yeah, I mean, I think they're in a tough position. I think Figure Drawing has it right. T'Challa was so tied to Chadwick Boseman, the person therein lies the dilemma, and I agree with him. You know.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if they tried to do another Tony Stark right now, it's too close to Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I
understand they're doing Riri Williams' Ironheart, and that's fine. That's a completely different. I'm totally okay with that, right?
I don't know. If they brought in John Stamos, I'd be down for it.
So
you're looking at
Cap too. You know, I mean, I can't see anybody other than Chris Evans, obviously.
I can't see anyone than Chris Evans doing Steve Rogers.
Yes,
the comic has the precedent of other people being Captain America, so I'm totally fine with Anthony Mackie being Cap, or sometime if they get like they're really cool, like Danielle Cage, one of these characters, Shannon Carter, some other version of Captain America.
Right.
I'd be fine with that because that's been established. If they just decided to grab somebody and said, "Hey, this is Steve Rogers now,"
right? I agree. That's what I meant. So yeah, no, good point.
I'm sorry, I'm not. No.
All right, so we're gonna go to our next break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show. Get the inside scoop on everything happening at The Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Okay, we're back.
Hi, guys.
All right, so Amy's been watching the show and
I'm
and
stressed.
heard our point of conversation and busted the door in.
She was
okay?
disgusted.
She
with what
kicked it
heard.
in like 5-0, okay, and said, I need to say my piece. So, John,
I don't have to be here, but they say like,
no,
people should hear it.
Yeah, and then John was a little bit scared at the aggression that Amy demonstrated, so he gave up his chair. So, Amy, tell us your thoughts.
Robbie, I think we've discussed this before, but I kind of agree with you. Like, I feel like the MCU is being deprived of the character of T'Challa if they don't have another guy come in. And I know, people are saying, "Oh, the multiverse, let's just bring another guy in." But I'm like, it just feels like it makes it so much more complicated. If that makes any sense. And there's the whole like people like, should people be allowed to cross over? And they're already setting up this thing with incursions about people crossing over. And I know that's getting really too into detail, but why couldn't they just kept it simple and just? And I know Chadwick was special, and yes, he was the first. He'll always be special. We're not going to forget about him. I just, maybe if they pushed off making this movie for a few more years, they could have recast it, and people would have had enough time to just accept that, like, okay, so like we're going to continue with the story, but someone else has to take on the role. But they could have just gone from there. I feel like, yeah, if we just had more time, but were they really that far into production? Like, I feel like they could have just taken a big long pause. And
well, who said $90 million?
I
I mean, if they really dumped 90 mil,
I read.
And Marvel's got to stop acting like they haven't recast major people before.
I read that at I think it was Screen Rant, that the report was that when Chadwick Boseman passed away, they were already $90 million into the Black Panther 2 project.
right?
And nobody is pulling out or leaving that sort of money on the table.
That's for sure.
And if they had stopped making the movie, they're still in. You know what I mean? This is like when these things start, this train don't stop. That was why COVID did such an incredible, such a shot to like the TV and movie industry. This is like a perpetual motion thing, right? Sharks do two things: they swim and they die, and that's it.
I'm going to throw out one more thing. Now,
Sure.
I'm jumping a
Eat,
little bit.
swim, make baby sharks. Sorry, that's a choice.
Get rid of the comic rack so we can see Nick too.
What we have to keep in mind is Disney also has a responsibility to all the actors, all the unit people that were working. So if they moved that movie back by 2 years, all those people would have been out of work.
Yeah.
Not even just all the actors.
Understandable.
And now that they're also bringing in the Submariner, potentially Doctor Doom, it might have held that back, which might have held back other movies, which would have caused other people not to have work. So it is a bigger macro thing than all of us can imagine.
Yeah.
And all I'll say is, thank God I never had to make that decision, because I mean, think about it. There's probably 150 to 250 people behind the scenes. It didn't matter if it was sound people, second directors, the catering people. No matter what level of the production you're looking at, we're talking about 150 to 250 people out of work. And it would have been one less big movie in the theaters, which would have affected theaters
Those
as well.
people need as many big movies as they could get. They took a beating during the pandemic as well.
Right. So it's just one of those decisions that you can almost look at it that there is no right answer.
Yeah.
So you can only make the decision that you think works best. Because yes, I mean, Marvel and Disney have the money. They could have done things differently, but they also have a responsibility to the fan base, and they had a plan mapped out, and it's hard to pivot from that. I mean, put it this way: if Marvel wanted to change their plans, the second Disney bought Fox, you would have seen the X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Instead, they're still growing it out organically.
I think what you said too is there's a ton of people. A lot of times the average movie fan doesn't realize, you know why the credits are so long at the end?
Because there's a lot of people working.
Hundreds, in some cases, more than 1,000 people work on the film.
I want to interject, Nick.
Wow.
Okay? We are having a discussion about make-believe characters. And nobody wants you to introduce a dose of realism.
Reality, right?
Okay? And people
That's
being
too much real
unemployed
life.
into the argument. It totally messes up our mojo, dude.
Nobody's right though.
All I'm saying
Of
is
course
that they
he's
kept
right,
everybody working.
But the whole reason we're here for 2 hours
You know
to
what,
talk
in the
about this
end,
stuff
if-
is we don't
I'll-
want to hear about
I'll
reality.
admit, in the end, if the movies ends up being good, great. I am happy for everyone involved.
And that's the most
And if
important
it's a great,
thing.
and if it is a beautiful tribute, then fantastic. I won't bitch about it.
I
You know,
like what
Amy,
Dwayne said. The credits
can
are
you
so long to
believe
make
what
us
still
wait for
sucks,
the
though?
post-credits scene.
Did you see what Dwayne wrote?
Wait,
Yeah. Why do you make me wait so long for the last 10 seconds?
You are
of the
absolutely
movie?
right,
You're
Dwayne
absolutely
DePaine.
right, bud.
and okay, so now that we got Amy all worked up, I have the grenade to really set her off.
It's not
She's
about
gonna get
turtles
ready to
yet,
hit
is
me.
it?
All right,
If
this is
that's-
gonna go viral. This show is
Nick,
gonna be the best
take,
new
Nick,
show.
can you take that? Can you take the lithograph right there? I don't want to. I just want to
You
move
don't
it.
want my blood to splatter on it when you hit me? Is that what you say?
I'm not gonna hit
And
you.
you
I'm
Blade
just
Runner
gonna make-
really still sucks. I'm just saying.
There's 2 more there. Move them. I
Next
don't want
week-
them. I don't want them. You know what? I'll just.
Next week, I'll be on the show with whoever wins between these two.
Oh, I'm losing.
I'm
There's no
just
doubt.
here, John.
But it's
hold
almost
these. I
worth
just want
it.
them to be safe. So I
I don't
just
think
don't
I'm
want
supposed to be
people
holding
to have to
them
look at
on,
you.
Oh my God!
I can still stand up. That movie still sucks. Blade Runner 2029
John, you
sucks.
want to move in, and so.
Man, if this show goes viral, thank you, Rex.
What did you do?
Oh
So,
my God.
It could just be, guys, does this look
I
better?
can still talk. Can you hear me? Testing,
It's Comic
testing.
Collectables.
Hey, I
with
had
John
that mic
Amy.
turned all the way up. There's no way.
Oh my God, that is
This
huge.
show-
Okay.
I
This
watched
just
Dude
became
on the
the
Plane.
most fun episode that this channel has ever had.
Okay, Preston,
Well,
I will
this
miss Chadwick Boseman. I don't see a problem with another direction. I will look forward to see how this character deals with the leader's death.
Selling comics on here is on the
Okay.
back burner.
Thank you, Preston.
Nick,
I
remember
also
when you thought we
co-agree
sell
with
comics
that
on this
statement.
show?
Hey, listen, if we get views out of this, I'll take it.
Yeah, right.
No, I think this show is this episode.
Everybody, hurry up! Put this in all of your
Fans.
groups,
Can
your
I say
Facebook
something,
page.
Nick?
Put this
Tell
out
everybody
everywhere.
to tune in now. This is like
All right.
WCW
Let me say
saying
this.
don't watch
Let me-
tonight's episode of
Hey,
WWE.
wait, Nick.
Mankind
I want to
wins.
say something. That you cannot pay her to hit me on TV without my signing
I'm not
a
paying her
disclaimer.
to do anything.
No, not yet. But if the views keep going up and we go viral, I heavily suspect you may pay her to hit me on the air. You need me to sign a disclaimer first. I'm not
You
saying I
should-
won't
Is
sign
it
it,
enough to go viral?
but I might need a bonus.
What would it be? Like hashtag should I hit Rex and let people decide? Isn't that really what's fair? She's not gonna hit me. I gave her my chair.
You know, you realize when I speak to my attorney, I can sue you too now for instigating.
I'm leaving. I see nothing.
I disavow anything that's
Oh.
happening here.
All right, so are we making space for Amy? Seriously though, you're making me claustrophobic here.
I was gonna say we really actually have to find a way here.
Slide over.
Slide back out here.
There we go. We're all in. All right, I'll slide over a little bit more. All right, so
Robbie's like, I could have.
You're still a jerk. Anyway,
You're still a jerk.
hey, and that movie still sucked, but what can you do?
Oh no.
Stevie B, the Spartacus series
You know what
lost
this conversation makes me think of?
what?
Ah, that's
Our own
great.
Civil War. So this who's producing?
Jay.
Oh, Jay. All right, Jay's cool. Jay,
As opposed to who?
Jamie
I'm not.
hates that
I'm
Jimmy.
leaving it at
He's
that.
digging his own hole here. Nick's digging his own hole.
I'm leaving it at that. This is like saying I got 5 favorite creators on Thor, and I only named 4, so that the 5th one can be left open to interpretation. All right, since this show reminds me of this, we're having our own Civil War right now.
Oh no.
And by the way, this is from Avengers Invaders, the series that Dynamite packaged for Marvel, and we're the only publisher in Marvel's 81
shameless
history
plug.
to have our own logo. We are going to give this away. We are going to
Thank
give
you.
this away.
Oh, you mean the one
now?
now?
Wait,
Hashtag, dude.
Now,
Oh.
no, it just Dynamite Civil War. How about that?
All right, so Jay, you got that? Hashtag Dynamite Civil
Civil
War,
War.
all lowercase. Just to keep it
Nice.
simple, because that's a long one.
That is nice.
All right, so we'll do that drawing. What time is it
Yes,
now?
I'm putting
You know,
the
you
look-
guys can say Dynamite Civil War, but you should also say whose side you're on.
Oh
Oh.
no. It's like
Oh, man.
T-Rex.
Ooh, I need a shield.
The best part about that is you
This
guys
show is actually fun.
as
I'm going to go be a spectator before I do anything wrong.
the
He
best
said
thing about
actually
this
fun.
is
I guess.
Whoever wins,
What'd you say?
Nothing.
No, you said
Not for
something.
you.
no,
Not for you. It's
I
just for
can
John.
hit replay. I can
Yeah, you can't do that actually.
You may as well say it.
The best thing about this show is
You know, it's funny, when Amy first started working here, she was very, very nice, very quiet.
All right, Preston, I guarantee you
Lately,
you're
she
not
snaps
winning.
at me.
Thank you, Preston.
You're definitely not. Hey, Jay, pull Preston's name right out of the drawing for the list.
Team
More
Amy.
importantly, figure drawing is seeing the sequel to this. It's Dynamite Civil War when these two have the zombie virus.
There you go.
Nice job, figure drawing. Nice job. That's
I'm
nicely
totally
done.
not
That could be
getting
the
the zombie
Halloween
bites.
special.
I wash my hands all the time. All right, so okay, so
No.
That's you.
That's you.
I work in the same office as you do.
It's been hours since I had COVID. I'm fine.
All right, let's throw another book up there.
We're talking. Why are you bothering us with comments?
Because that's the main purpose of why we're here. All right, so Elvira in Horrorland #1, Atlas edition, signed by Dave Avalone. Just retail is $69.99. We have one available. It is our 5-star $50 book.
This is a fun series. I've been reading it as a horror movie nerd. It's fun to, seeing her and I don't want to get too spoilery, but like how they tweak certain details and make it, like
She's in Psycho in the first issue.
yeah,
Like,
it's like,
right? Like,
they
yeah,
changed
you
the
get that
name
in
ever
the-
so slightly by one letter.
Yeah, I really like that. They did The Shining. Y'all did in issue 2. I love the Elvira books. I think they're some of the best ones that y'all have been publishing, for sure. And especially if you're a fan of Elvira or horror films, like it's got that campy, shticky, kind of fun, tongue-in-cheek humor, but totally irreverent to the movies and people that they're talking about, whether it's Vincent Price, Psycho, The Shining, or whatnot.
I believe the next one coming up is Alien.
That is right, yeah.
For the next book.
Justin
That's what I
Rando
was
says he likes the Alien Elvira cover. What was that? We had a sudden flash there.
Let's
What's
Nick
rating?
taking this off the air.
Now Nick doesn't know how to do that. You have to call Kyle first. All right. So we have Amy's opinion. I don't know that I really expressed an opinion, but I just like the Stoke and Amy there. But again, the Blade Runner really kind of sucked. Just saying, it was horrendous. It was so.
You know how I feel better about this whole situation, Rex? I still know that no matter what you say, I'm right.
Oh,
Well, box
no.
office says I'm right.
Oh, like the box office is always right.
Well, the box office is why they keep making movies. All right, so let us know. Hashtag Dynamite Civil War, all lowercase, to enter for the drawing of the litho. It's a beautiful piece, actually. So
Yeah, anything Alex Ross.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to side with Amy, even though I didn't see the movie. If the box office was always right, Boondock Saints would not have bombed at the box office and then sold 10 million DVDs when it came out on DVD.
Yeah, I don't think Blade Runner's doing that, bro.
Well, now it's all about streaming in minutes.
Yeah, I don't think it's all. It's going to be about that, bro.
Which one? Blade Runner 2049 or that
Yeah.
animated thing on Netflix?
Oh, I haven't seen the animated.
Good. Don't bother. It's awful.
Is it that bad?
It's
It's worse than 2049. What could be worse than 2049?
2049 has Harrison Ford in it. So I'm fine with
2051.
that.
2049. Even Harrison Ford couldn't save it.
Indy can save everything.
No, he can't. Not this movie.
You know what? At this point, I agree. Cut his mic because I
Can't cut his mic.
cut his mic.
All right, so
We'll find someone who
just
uses
some
laptop.
rando says, at least we can all agree that Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot sucked. Yes, we can.
No, I like that
Ryan,
one.
your opinion
I
on
like
that?
that one.
What's that?
I like that one. I like the new one, the requel or whatever. I actually like it.
Honestly, I have not seen it.
It's not a good movie, but I like it. I'll
It's
just
not
say
a good movie. So it's going to end up on your review show?
We already covered it on Dylan's Horror Show, and I gave
Oh,
it a
you did?
3.5 out of 5 because if you just want to see Leatherface kill a busload of like smug 20-year-olds, that's what you get, and it's awesome. I really like that.
I mean,
See, I paid
as
double for
satisfying
that.
as that might be in the moment, it doesn't sound like a very good movie. Let's see. All right, so let's cover another book real quick. We have Godzilla #1, signed by Dwayne Swerzinski. Just retail $69.99. It is $19.54 for the year Godzilla first launched.
It's a dope cover. Love it.
It is. I grew up watching all those, black and white Godzilla movies and, on TV and stuff. So
I remember the first time, I think it was, I got the Criterion DVD of Godzilla, and it has the original Gojira, and then it has the Godzilla King of the Monsters. And all I had ever seen was, the American version with, was that Raymond Burr that was in that or something? And
he was in that.
When I watched the Japanese one, Gojira, that is a somber, masterful movie. Like, that movie is amazing. And the American version is just schlock. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird.
So
it's
real
awesome.
quick, before you came on the air, and I really got to leave, but
No, you don't. You know all this stuff.
John wanted me to get the rights to Johnny Sacco and his flying robot.
yeah, he mentioned it.
And I said, don't say stuff like that because I love that show. And then I said, do you remember Space Giants? So,
What was the
Goldar?
one?
Goldar.
Yeah, Goldar. Yeah,
That's Space
what I said.
Giants.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm
can
going
I
to get
announce
that.
Space
Like, so
Giants?
I
Ron will
only,
take
I
over.
only have one.
All right.
I have one
Ron,
question
take
for
it
Robbie.
over. You got it, Ron. I got you, buddy.
Robbie,
Yeah.
did you ever watch Space Giants or Johnny Sacco and his flying robot?
I am familiar with Johnny Sacco because that's one of the first, I think it's credited as being one of the first tokusatsu like things, in which I love
Yeah,
Super Sentai. But
Yeah.
I've never seen the other one, no.
Yeah, man. There's one episode where the robot starts like getting melted and destroyed, and
Yeah.
you see Johnny crying. As a kid, you cry with it.
They talked about emulating that in Terminator 2.
Really? So
All those
how
people-
about just last two? Did you ever watch Star Blazers?
No, never watched that one.
Oh wow,
Wait, Star Blazers was the one
You're
with
making me feel like
Yeah.
AR right
Right.
now.
the Argo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
big
the
gun.
wave
Yeah.
motion gun. How
Yeah.
can it work for dynamite?
It was for me.
I watched
It was
when I was like 15, dude.
it was Battle of the Planets every morning. Like literally, I would miss the last like 8 minutes because I would have to run to school, and then in the summer I would catch up because it was all repeats on the UHF. And then after school, it would be, oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember Spaceship Yamato. I just said it. What was it?
Battle of Planets.
No,
Or
Battle of the Planets.
Star Blazers.
Star Blazers. I'd run home from school to watch Star Blazer, missing the first 10 minutes. And then again, summertime, I would catch up.
I loved it when they fired the big gun.
It's
Edward
the
von
wave motion
Wittgenstein,
cannon.
thanks for joining us, buddy. What's this all about? It's about anything that comes to mind, actually, which is how most of our shows go. And then we sell comics in between, all the nonsense.
You try to sell everything.
Here I am holding up a script of this week. Here's a script.
No, if you're going to do this, and I really do got to go, Civil War, the Dynamite Civil War.
All right, so that is hashtag Dynamite Civil
Oh,
War,
I saw you on the
lowercase.
phone after we discussed Johnny Sacco. Is it okay if I announce Dynamite's Johnny Sacco series? Or
Please, I wait.
I know that.
And then we had another.
Boring, now that we're talking about Johnny Sacco, you're boring Amy to death. She's like, I never saw this stuff.
All right, so
Okay.
then
I'm not gonna interrupt. I'll let you guys talk
then
about it.
the other drawing, which was what we planned.
I'm not the
Hashtag
Station
EXP for the Vampirella number 1 year one.
Because they like something or say that.
No, it's Rex's game.
I'm talking about the giveaways here. Please, end the sidebar. So that is the actual giveaway. So we have 2 giveaways tonight. We will do both of them after Best Offer Books close. And is the Civil War print signed? John, I don't believe it is. Is that correct?
It is not
Pretty
signed.
sure it's
It is
no.
not signed, John.
If this were
Well, right.
signed,
But it's really nice.
if this were signed, this would be my car.
Like so many things in this office.
This,
All right. So it is time. All right. Well, Sinner 24, give us a few minutes. Let me do my recap.
I need a specific thing to rant about. I already did my piece on
I want to see Amy
the
go on a
Marvel
rant.
movie.
Bring up
I'm
Eternals.
sure I'll come up with something else.
Bring up Eternals, and I'm going to leave the room.
I only had,
There was definitely
only have one
movies
thing
that
to say
she
on that.
liked that we did not.
I think Eternals was one of them.
Was Eternals one of them? Did you like Eternals?
what I said about Eternals was there was so much and yet so little. I think it could have been better.
I don't know. I've watched it a few times now. It gets suckier each time.
Why do you keep watching it then?
I get bored.
You trying to beat John's record on Eternals or something? What's going on?
They sent me my high score,
record is
man.
How many
morbid.
times did you watch it? How many times did you watch it?
Eternals?
Yeah.
I've seen Eternals 4 times because I wanted to make sure I wasn't just, you see a movie, maybe you're not in the right mood, you got a headache, your popcorn's cold.
Wait a minute. No, we meant not just movie theaters, but streaming as well.
Oh,
Here it comes.
if you're going to factor in streaming, I honestly couldn't say for sure.
Thank you. All right. Just wanted to be clear.
You know how people have stuff on in the background of their house all day? All that's on in the background of my house is Disney Plus. All day. Star Wars, Marvel.
I play a lot of Simpsons.
There's almost like they can shut off everything except Disney Plus. I wouldn't know it for months. People would be like, dude, Netflix isn't in business anymore? I'd be like, sorry, man. Okay.
Center 24. Yeah, everything's a debate today. We're down that road and we can't turn back. It's like rolling downhill, boys. All right. So let's do a recap and then let's do some CCAs. Dynamite 10-pack reader set. As always, just retail $40. We have it for $5, 50 cents a comic. Dark Metals number 5 Planet Comic-Con variant, signed by Scott Schneider and Greg Capullo, suggested retail of $99.99. We have one available as a 5-star at $50 book. Then we had Justice Inc. number 4, signed by Alex Ross, suggested retail of $300. It is one of our best offer books starting at $100. It is number 3 of only 5 signed. Then we had Godzilla number 1, signed by Dwayne Zorinsky. It's just retail of $69.99. It is $19.54 for the year that Godzilla first launched. Then we had Department of Truth number 3, second printing by James Tinian IV. Currently, it is a best offer book. Currently, Dwayne Zapane is in the lead at $20. Then we did Red Sonja number 11, Lyrics Lee Ultraviolet Virgin cover. We have one suggested retail of $50. We have one available for $40. And then finally we had Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse number 1, CGC 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book starting at $35.
I just want to answer Ed Weird real quick while I'm thinking about it. Ed Weird, a lot of people had the same reaction you did because they hadn't seen, or not your same reaction, but you didn't know the story of the Eternals. In a nutshell, Jack Kirby became obsessed with something called Chariot of the Gods. And he did the Inhumans, was the first iteration of that. And it worked and didn't work. And so we fell out with Marvel and went to DC. And then he went to DC and created the New Gods, which you can make the argument Inhumans, New Gods, which one was better. Essentially, it's the same idea, right? Space gods out there, their names are similar to mythological figures. Then he came back to Marvel. But at this point, he'd sort of used all his best stuff. I mean, Kirby returns to Marvel to do the Eternals, and they're like, yeah, sure, man. As long as you're on board, do the Eternals. And you can read, the first story arc of the Eternals is good. After that, everything else is essentially recovering the stuff for the Inhumans or stuff for New Gods. And then after he leaves Marvel that last time, he does that idea again.
Right.
With Captain Victory, and Dynamite has done this, Silver Star and Captain Victory, this sort of idea that there's a huge galaxy out there, and they're not really gods that we think of. It's the original Battlestar Galactica quote. Some believe that life here began out there. And that summarizes everything. Eric Van Daniken, the author of Chariots of the Gods, that simple sentence is everything he's ever believed. It's counter-religious. I don't know what you want to recall it, but
so Low-Hit liked Eternals. I didn't. Let me rephrase. I'm just trying to stoke Amy. But I know it's fun though. You get such a aggressive reaction when
I didn't like it. And
why do you do this to me? Like.
Because I was that kid on the playground. If I knew something got under your skin, I would just keep doing it.
Just likes to pick on you.
All right, let me throw out this before we got to go to our next break. Mighty Avengers number 1, a Monica Rambeau cover signed by Greg Land and signed and cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. It's just a retail of $99.99. It is a 5-star book at $50. And as we know, Monica Rambeau will be returning. So, all right. Now, we started a discussion about Dune, I think, earlier on in the show. Okay, I really liked it. Who said you didn't like it, right, Robbie? Is that what you said?
No, I love Dune. It was John that brought that up.
Oh, John, that's right.
John said he was watching it on a plane or something, I think.
I'm going to make John a target because Amy loves the director, who was also director of Blade Runner 2049. What's his name again? I never pronounce it.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, I never pronounce it right. I always get the last
We can't even handle what's his name right. The artist for Marvel, for Dynamite. I can't think of his name now. He does everything for us.
Talking about Perillo?
Yeah, we can't even get that name right.
Well, luckily, who's not here? Come on. Who am I thinking of? The viewer that corrected us in the first place. Who used to be here all the time, but lately he's been.
Oh, not.
Talking about Dave? What are you talking about?
Dave Cerrone. Yes,
Dave Cerrone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Dave Cerrone is building his Instagram comic empire. If you go check out his Instagram feed.
Yeah, I guess he's busy, right? Oops, sorry. Did I just?
He was here. Wasn't he here like last week?
Denis is a great director. That is true.
There it is. Now we know what the problem was.
I love Dune. Okay, and I've read the books, and I think he did an excellent job. It is a very long book. It is a very complex book with a lot of things going on. I love the first movie, but the problem was the way that they overcame the problem was if you read Dune, the way Frank Herbert had written it, there's just a lot of thinking, to yourself, right? Not a lot of interaction. So the way they dealt with it in the first movie was they just had a lot of dialogue. Like you'd see the character and there'd just be dialogue in the background. That was how they dealt with the thinking issue. This movie, they somehow avoided it without really missing it. So I thought that was a big move. The first one, don't get me wrong, the movie was epic. It was epic.
I don't hate the first movie.
What's that?
No,
I didn't say you did. No, I didn't say you did. This relates to the director. Okay. So it's not that I didn't like the director. Blade Runner 2049 just sucked. But Dune was excellent. That was his thing, and he did it. I think he did an excellent job, and I'm waiting for part 2. And even seeing it, the abbreviated version on the plane, I still enjoyed it. I had to break it up because the flights were 2 hours and an hour, and that movie's like way over 2 hours. So, but let's see. Lohit says the Perillo greatest cover artist ever. I would agree with that. And figure drawing agrees with you.
Anybody see Dune in IMAX?
Because Goran on a bigger screen is much better.
In this case, it is. Quality experience seeing it in IMAX.
If you say so, Amy. I just don't see how that movie would get better on a bigger screen with sharper digital
Everything
quality.
gets better on a bigger screen. As someone who sees almost all the movies, everything is improved.
And to make that movie good, the screen would have to be the size of the state of Pennsylvania.
I'll tell you right now, Morbius is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It's better on a big screen?
It was better on a big screen than, from what I understand now, people are streaming it and they're like, this is, what? And I'm like,
All right, we got to go to our next break. So we're going to go to our next break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crib. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
up? Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
We've been debating so much. We got to get through a few books here real quick.
Before we start the books real quick, we're going to talk about this next week. We'll give everybody a week to sort of organize their thoughts. We'll do this when we come back.
My water, I'm back.
Okay.
All right, let me get through some of these books up.
I'm trying to tell people what we're doing next week. Nobody cares about the books. Next Monday, we are going to have a discussion, so Robbie can start thinking about it.
Are you going to be back?
I have to do this.
What?
You said there's a possibility you would not be back.
Maybe not. We'll see. Who is the
you make a
greatest
suggestion on a show that you may not be on?
Who is the greatest Dynamite artist, cover artist? Who's the greatest? Is it somebody put in the thing? It's Lucio Perillo. Everybody has their favorites.
It's Lucio Perillo.
Lucio Perillo.
Sure. Whatever. Larry Paris, whatever his name really is. Try to think about who is your favorite, and we'll talk about that next week. Maybe we'll do some kind of poll online or something.
And John won't be here. This is what's going to happen.
Wayne Page says Lisner.
That's my point. Everybody has their favorite. I know who my favorite is. Everybody probably knows who my favorite is, so I won't even bother going into it. And you don't read the books, so this will give you a week to actually look at our comics and decide, which of these artists.
You're an awfully bossy dude for someone getting ready to go on vacation. Won't even be here probably.
I learned that from you last week when you were on vacation.
All right,
I'm going to play softball. Bye.
Since we have a civil war going on tonight on Dynamite, and don't forget to throw to make sure you put the hashtag in the chats for both drawings. And Jay, if you could throw those up again, please.
Don't forget to tell everyone whose side you're on.
So hashtag Dynamite Civil War for
splitting the audience.
For the lithograph, the litho Avengers Invaders litho drawing, and then we have hashtag Station EXP. A lowercase, uppercase, be sure to make sure it matches. And we have Vampirella number 1, year 1, available as a giveaway as well. All right. And then speaking of Civil War, we got Civil War number 1, signed by Charles Soule. Suggested retail of $69.99. And we have it as one of our 5-star at $50 books.
Wow, that's really nice.
That is a really cool.
Wow.
And it is signed in silver, clearly, by Charles Soule.
Wow. Man.
All right.
I love the way the shield, the shield logo is sort of subtly worked into the back.
Into the background.
That's really nice stuff.
And we will do the drawing immediately after Best Offer Books End, which is at 7:55. All right. So one more, and this will clear the first page, and then we got a handful more, and then we can go back to arguing about whatever we want to argue. X-Men Legends number 4, Deadpool variant, signed by Walt and Louise Simonson. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is another one of our 5-star books at $50.
Very cool.
Very cool. All right. That is a cool cover. I love Walt Simonson's signature with the big.
Oh, it's that nice throwback. It's
And it's a Rob Liefeld cover, isn't it?
Yeah. It's sort of
That's why there are no feet on it.
No, I mean, for older fans, people who actually remember the 90s and lived through it and remember when the books looked like this, almost every book looked like this.
Okay, hold on. So where Rubenstein is claiming it. You got it where Rubenstein.
That's a nice book. That's a really nice book.
All right, so where Rubenstein is claiming X-Men Legends, you got it, buddy.
I have to jump in and say congratulations on the X-Men Legends. That is actually one of my favorite Rob Liefeld covers. This is a beautiful cover. And you got number 4 of the blood red signature, which is awesome. So, sorry, I love this cover, and it feels like he was emulating Byrne there. So,
yeah, I don't really think it's Liefeld's best cover.
I just said it's one of my favorite from the last few years.
You're arguing with everybody tonight.
I'm just throwing little pieces of dynamite out there. See what blows up.
When he's fired, we'll remember this episode.
Hey, this blows up and goes viral. I'm not getting fired, buddy.
I'm not watching in case anything happens. I just happen to run across.
All right. Twain's a paying. All right, buddy. Yeah, make sure you get your hashtags in.
Civil War.
I know, right? All right, so let's do another CCA. We have New Avengers #1, Blade cover, sketch cover, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. It's just retail at $89.99. It is a 5-star at $50. One of our 5-star at $50 books. And the Blade movie, that's hitting next year in November, I think.
Yeah.
Phase 11, whatever it is.
We have an official date.
And who saw the Secret Wars trailer today? Wait.
Did you see Stevie B's throwing $10 off on the Nick Blank variant?
Let's see. John Spilios, you got it, buddy. I fell asleep watching FF in the theater. All right, so who saw the Secret Wars trailer?
Did that officially drop?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
For it was like 1:30, something like that. Yeah.
For Avengers Secret Wars.
I don't know how you missed it, Amy. You're usually right on it with these things.
She does the job.
Did you just? I think Rex. Did you just fall for one of those like fan-made trailers on YouTube? Did you? Is that what happened?
Like, was it Marvel official? Because I mean, like, that usually shows up in my YouTube feed. So I'm like,
I literally saw it. It looked like it was.
He might be thinking of Secret Invasion. Hold on a second.
Oh no, I am thinking.
I'm like, because they said there was a teaser for Secret Invasion at Comic-Con, so I'm like, maybe.
Hold on.
You thinking? I was just double checking. Yeah. Here's the official teaser for Black Panther, She-Hulk.
Secret Invasion. I don't know. It came up.
They also showed some Ant-Man footage, apparently.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So they also showed some Ant-Man footage, apparently. So hopefully something will drop for that soon.
Yeah, some like there's certain. Yeah, like I remember reading. They showed teasers that aren't online yet. So I'm like, I would have seen it if it was official.
Yeah, Secret Wars is 3 years off, so there's no way we're getting a trailer for that. We just now got a Black Panther trailer. Marvel, if you notice, doesn't release trailers until like just a few months before now. It's crazy.
Is there a new series they're going to start?
Starting.
I don't know. Hold on.
That's the extent of what you've seen for. Oops, I'm sorry. That's the extent of what you saw for Secret Wars. You saw logo.
I'm like, I would have. That sounded off.
Could be. I could have fallen for one of those fan.
Yeah, I think you did, Rex. It's okay, man. It happens to the best of us.
It happens, buddy.
I just love that you brought it up and killed 5 minutes of the show with it.
Hold on.
He's still looking it up.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna be on your show on Monday because I hear there's drinking involved. That's what John reported.
So his Sunday show.
The Sunday show. Yeah.
The Sunday show's laid back. I like the vibe in that show. I might not be available for Mondays anymore if Robbie needs help.
You should have told me that earlier, Robbie. If I knew there was drinking involved, I would have joined.
Do we have anything that's the most anticipated project we're looking at, or did you guys say that already?
He's talking about. Why do I keep doing that?
For me, it's Blade and Fantastic Four.
No, I saw the Secret Invasions one, I think.
I love that we're still doing this bit about this fan-made trailer that Rex saw earlier.
I'm telling you, I saw it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm afraid he's gonna fall for like the Batman Wolverine thing from Bat in the Sun, and the next thing
What? That's not real?
By the way, I got an email I need to forward you about this prince in Nigeria. He
Hey, you know what? It's a good thing I don't block your email, so I'll get that one, Robbie.
I know what that's like. Your emails.
Don, are you claiming the Blade, buddy? Or are you just screaming Blade?
Or are you most excited for Blade? Because I asked them, like, what are you guys most excited for with the projects they announced?
All right, yeah, that could be. Okay. All right, so let us know,
Blade.
John, because I think John got the Blade earlier on when we first had it on. So we are waiting for new stuff from.
Would you guys ever do a contest and winner gets to design a cover?
I don't know.
Didn't we do something for the boys and someone said like you can choose which character from the boys you wanted, or am I mixing it up?
Yeah, but that was a CCA.
Yeah, it was a CCA.
You got to choose.
I was about to be like, I'm pretty sure that Dynamite pays people to do that.
That we publish. I'm assuming that's Wu-Tang. I'm assuming that's what you mean. That a contest and then you get to design the cover and then the cover will go to print and then go to retailers. I'm assuming that's what he means. That is well above my pay grade.
I don't want it to be. I don't want a regular cover. It's got to be metal.
Nobody cares what you want, John.
Everybody cares what I want. That's how we got King Kong.
So John brought me this great sandwich. I can't wait to try.
Thank you, Preston. I'm not crazy.
Yes, Preston. That's right. But that's different than what I think.
I gotta warn you though. That sandwich has some heat. So don't scream at me.
That's scary. That's scary. When you say there's some heat, that means it's like ghost pepper kind of heat.
They grow their own cherry peppers, mince them, then pickle them and stuff like that.
And I can't drink milk. I'm lactose intolerant. Bummer.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
I'm afraid to drink a beer with it because I might suddenly start breathing fire.
Just have lemon and salt. That'll work with it.
Hey.
On with the show.
Hey. Food. It is the primary topic of this show. Okay.
I brought pizza once and you said, take your pizza away.
She's not.
That's something I didn't like on it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like she doesn't get into.
Fill out a checklist. What you don't like on pizza. It's not like I brought one with liverwurst on it. I think it was sausage and peppers.
I've never tried that. That sounds interesting.
Liverwurst is not.
I love liverwurst. Okay.
Why you got
it? All right, so where we at? Oh, we're at 7:44, so we need to get through the rest of these books. All right.
I just want to bring you food, like I bring him food, but you never tell me what you like.
All right, shh. All right, so I know, and I got to get to the rest of the books. All right, so we have Flash number 750 signed with cover sketch by Ken Hazer. I know we've seen this before.
We're doing a show.
Yeah, that's my daughter. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $56.19.
Great cover.
I love this one because of what he does with the.
Do you know Nick? Is Nick okay with you selling this? Because he loves the Flash.
Well,
he probably has another one in his house.
Well, he doesn't know one hurt him.
It looks so cool with the gold, the way he's using the gold with the symbol and the lightning and the ears.
Yeah, and the red blank cover. Oh, actually, Senator, that's not true. We sold several books.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we sold several books.
We just talk too much.
I
try to make sure the show is moving, but does it?
The 19 cents for 1956 when Flash first appeared in Showcase number 4, my friend. That's why Ed Weird.
The Silver Age Flash, we should point out.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody correcting us in the comments, being like, that's not the first Flash.
Oh, when people do that, I just delete the comments. That's awful.
I mean, they would be right, though. So.
Yeah, and we are, for our CCA collectors, I know that Ron and John Spilios, a lot of these guys have already gotten, one of these. We are waiting for new books from Ken.
I did just recently email Ken for some She-Hulk, so.
Bingo.
Oh, nice.
So we're expecting another batch. Again, these are all hand-drawn, obviously by Ken Hazer, so it takes a little time, and he is really super fast.
If you watch his video on Instagram, that guy seriously moves.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's slow. But he's got stacks and stacks of requests, not just coming from us, and we request a lot of stuff from him. So we are trying to get new stuff in. As soon as they come in the door, Warehouse brings it right to me, and we try to put it on the very next show, the very next opportunity. But he has done some fantastic stuff for us. All right, next book up, Vampirella, Year 1, Number 1. Colette Turner Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50. We have one available for $40. And just, you know what, I should probably do a recap of the best offer books.
I'm trying to think of what I've seen Colette Turner do. Fathom or Zenoscope or something. She did. She's just like a real distinct art style.
Could be right. You are the man who knows all things Dynamite.
Yeah. Well, Vampirella Year 1, this is like a slightly different Vampirella, right? I mean, when you kind of see Vampirella in the different stories, right? Sometimes she's real bitter, sometimes she's experienced, sometimes she's having fun. This is a story before any of that. She almost like herself doesn't really know who she's going to become.
Right.
So that's sort of a real neat. A guy like Tom Stygowski, for example, that guy's been doing. I mean, he was doing Vampirella during the Harris era. That guy's been doing this a long time. This is sort of a new.
Yeah, Ron, I know you got the first She-Hulk. We only had the one, right?
Yeah, so the show's coming out.
So Ron, there are other viewers that may want a She-Hulk as well, but there will be other covers as well that we're going to be bringing in. We're just waiting for obviously for Ken to get through the backlog and stuff and get it to us.
I told Ken on Facebook that I wanted a Hawkeye Christmas CCA. I said I want you to use all like the red and green colors.
I recently rewatched the episodes, and that definitely kind of like Die Hard. It's become my new action Christmas
It's
movie.
one of my favorite Christmas things.
I really, that actually got better the second time I went through it. I don't know why. Maybe just because I picked up a little bit more stuff.
I'll be the first to admit, we talk about the Disney Plus stuff. It's certainly not the best thing they've done. But especially you're watching this at Christmas time, that'll be a great day. It'll be snowy and cold outside. I won't do anything. Somebody will have brought me like a triple chocolate stout to drink, 11 ABV or something, and I'll be like, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to sit there and watch this all day.
All right, so best offer books before they close. They will close at 7:55. Justice Inc. number 4, signed by Alex Ross, just retail of $300. Best offer book starting at $100. It is number 3 of 5. Department of Truth number 3, signed by James Tinian IV, suggested retail of $49.99. It is the best offer book with Dwayne Zapane in the lead at $20.
Where are the Peacemaker CCAs? They were not handed to me. That's why I'm asking.
I don't know. Maybe they came in. I will have to check, Ron. I don't know. All right. So Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse number 1, CGC graded 9.8 guaranteed. Suggested retail of $89.99. Best offer starting at $35. All right, Preston, you got it, buddy.
Nice.
Preston starting us off on that one. Awesome, buddy. So who was it? Figure drawing. I guarantee you, I do not actually. I never watched the show again. Believe it or not, my friend. Because you know that thing. I mean, I remember the first tape recorder. You just don't like the way you sound. What's that?
Edward, yeah. You type in what you want in the comments, like exactly what it is, what the price is, and then we put up the link.
Right. So Jay, if you could throw that up. So this is how it works, and I apologize that we really got distracted today, even more so than normal. Jay will throw up a submission form, a link to a submission form. If you win something, if you claim something, you just throw it up in the chat. If it is a buy it now, you just all right. Where Rupenstein will open up on Gwenverse. If it is a buy now item, the first person in the chat walks away with it. If it is a best offer item, the person with the highest offer at 7:55, and our producer Jay will throw up a clock when we get close. All right, let's see. All right, so
Creative Keep will go 40 on.
All right, okay. So let me just make sure. All right, Creative Keep is going 40.
Did you pull up the other CGCs at some point in the show?
No, we're going to go to those right now. Okay. All right, so Creative at 40, buddy. And let's see. Okay, so all right, let's do the rest of the books that we have available. So we have John Carter, Mars number 4. George Combandais, did I get that right, Amy? Virgin cover.
Close enough.
Suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40.
I'll tell you, this John Carter series is very cool. I sort of had a bunch of comments in the beginning when I saw the initial video that Adam did on Dynamite. I was like, Yeah, I'm not really, don't mess around with John Carter too much. Right. And I was super glad. I was wrong. Thankfully, the creators don't listen to me, really, thankfully. This is a great story. This is very, very cool.
All right, so then we have Batman number 118, Bogdanovich variant, cover CGC graded 9.8 guaranteed. Suggested retail of $99.99. We have one available for $69.99. All right, so 4 minutes, 40 seconds left approximately.
For the best offer books?
Yeah, for the best offer books. You know what? Creative Keep. I'll go back to the CCAs.
Let's go.
The Scorch, and then our final book of the night, The Scorch number 1, CGC graded, 9.8 guaranteed. Suggested retail of $89.99 and is a.
Is there no
5-star
Batman
book.
picture? We talked about Batman, it didn't go up.
Let's see. It should be. Jay, did you not get the Batman one, buddy? Let us know.
It's the Department of Truth book signed, right?
Department of Truth book is signed.
Yeah, Creative Keep. There is a signed DOT book.
Yeah, signed by James Tynan. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
All right. So the CCAs. All right. For Creative Keep here, these are the ones that are available. We have New Avengers number 1, Blade cover signed with cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available as a 5-star at $50 book. And then we had Mighty Avengers number 1, Monica Rambeau cover, signed by Greg Land, and cover sketch and signed by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $99.99, and is one of our 5-star $50 books.
I love the yellow Kirby Crackle. That's too cool.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah, I thought you might. And then we had Flash number 750, signed with cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and it is available for $56.19.
Okay, the Department of Truth book again?
And then the Elvira book.
And then the Elvira book in Elvira and Horrorland was already claimed.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm sorry about that.
You're right. Oh my gosh.
So let's see. What other questions do we have?
You missed the sales book in your Unholy War.
Yeah. So Creative. I know that our regular CCA buyers, a lot of you guys have seen this before and have picked them up. Yeah, no, I know Creative Keep. So we are waiting for a new shipment from Ken Hazer. Not entirely sure where it is, but Ron obviously saw the Peacemaker. I don't know if that's a pre-sell or not, but I will check tomorrow when I get in with the guys in the warehouse. And if it is in hand, you will see it on Wednesday for sure, without a doubt. So now, after the best offer books close, we will do the drawings. We got to get those drawings out of the way.
Giveaway time.
Giveaway time, exactly. And to remind everybody, Robbie will be doing his movie review show at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight on his YouTube channel, Pop Culture Philosophers. And the movie will be, what was it again?
The Golden Child.
The Golden Child. That's right. Totally forgot. I'm getting old. So The Golden Child, personally, a movie I loved. I watched multiple times. I thought Eddie Murphy was great. Who was it? Was it Tia Carrera or what's her name?
It's Cassandra something, right? What's her name? Is it Cassandra Wilson? I don't remember.
Maybe it wasn't Carrera. I don't know.
You're probably thinking of Wayne's World.
Maybe.
Wayne's World.
Love that movie too.
Excellent.
And you were talking about Simpsons. I remember when my daughter and I went to Universal in Florida.
Hold on a second. Did you show Creative Keep the Department of Truth cover?
You know what? Let's throw that up there.
Because he asked about it.
Department of Truth number 3 by James Tinian IV.
Charlotte Lewis. That's
Charlotte
who it
Lewis.
is.
Charlotte Lewis.
Very
Good job,
good,
Edward.
Edward. Thank you.
And yeah, that DOT book is very cool. That's
all right. So clock's got to be clicking down. So Jay's gonna.
I just want to Creative Keep to see that.
All right, and we got okay. Yeah, and make sure you get your back in for the drawing because we're going to do it immediately after this.
This has been a fun show, hasn't it, y'all?
It has been. Creative Keep. It is at 20. Yeah, figure drawing multiple times Golden Child.
You know, I can't say anything about people seeing movies multiple times.
Yeah.
I was about to ask, how many times have you seen it, John?
Years, unlike John, a course of days. All right, Creative, no problem, buddy. That's what I love about our community here. All right, so Jay will throw up that end line, and then we can do the drawing.
Congratulations to everybody who
won, and everybody that picked up something.
That Elvira and Harlan story is very cool. If people aren't reading that, you really should.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think Alec asked me, you don't have to have read the previous stuff. You know what I mean? Dave Avalone summarizes the previous series in like a paragraph on the inside cover of that
Jess Randall, Die Hard as well, man. I've seen that about 1 million times. All right, so what drawing should we do first?
Every Christmas.
Yeah, right?
It's a Christmas
Now it's
movie.
getting replaced by Hawkeye. So what do you guys want? Amy, choose. What should we draw first?
We'll do the Vampirella cover first.
All right, so Vampy will be the first drawing. All right, Jay, if you would run it through the randomizer, my friend.
The book's in my hand. I won.
All right, here we go. Hey, congratulations, buddy. You are our winner. All right, so then next is the Avengers Invaders litho. All right, so let's go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, when you get this thing, you absolutely want to take this to the framer, like almost immediately, because holy cow, is this.
All right, here we go for the Dynamite Civil War. Go ahead, Jay, run it.
BBZ.
Triple B.
Congratulations, Triple
buddy.
B.
All right, and we are actually, I think, over time now.
Yeah, because don't we have something? What comes on, Jay, at 8 o'clock?
Mishmash, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for Mishmash with Miss Jen, and then at 9 o'clock you can bounce over to Pop Culture Philosophers for Robbie's show.
Robbie, thanks for joining us as always,
Golden
bud.
Child. Had a great time tonight. We really got
A
it
lot
out
of
of
fun.
control.
Thank you, everyone.
All right,
who,
thanks for joining us. We'll be back Wednesday, same time.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.